You know what day it is, and you know where we'll be. We are back another Tuesday night AMA. What's going on, everybody? Jay Jackson already in here.
Jay.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
I don't know, maybe that's not how you say it, but every time I do, I always think of Scott.
Hey, yo.
Like, hey, yo. Austin's in here. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, we're here. You know what? We're here to answer your questions.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's for. That's why it's an AMA. It's not to answer our questions. But I do got one for you. How you doing? How you feeling? You sleeping?
Feeling fantastic, man. You know, as good as a human can be on no sleep and functioning, you know. By the way, I'm not liable for any answers I give out tonight. So, you know.
Come on. You're always liable. Every answer you get. It's good to see the basketballs are back in order.
Well, there's some. I mean, here you go. They're all over the fucking place, right?
We got one out of order. Your nephew is having a good time. He's like, fuck these
bro.
guys.
I'll tell you one thing, man. I was like, you know what? This guy's got too much energy. I took him down here. He ran around here like a madman for a half hour and was passed out. Greatest idea ever.
Yeah. Why not? Just
let
him go to town.
Yep.
Man, what I wouldn't give to have like that amount of energy sometimes these kids have, even though they don't know how to ration it.
Yeah.
Conserve it through the day.
Yeah. Dude, you're right, man. I wake up and I'm like, the kid just is running everywhere. Yeah. Kyler, my nephew, it's like, bro, like
not what
I would give to just scream, yell, cry, run everywhere. It's wild.
Man, they don't even stretch either, right? They don't even loosen up, get their hammies up.
Bro, straight out of either sleeping or a nap. Here we go. Full speed, baby.
Or like us, man, after we do something physical, like you got to sit in the chair for about 4 hours. You don't even want to get up and go to the bathroom because it's going to hurt.
There's times before I go start, I feel like that. Then when I'm done, it's really bad.
All right. And there's the first question. Let's start with some Brown scoop. Who will be the backup to Chubb this year? Kareem Hunt? Any way he gets traded or cut? Or does Dearness Johnson have any chance of moving into that role? And Jesus Christ, Jerome Ford.
Austin Michaels bringing the heat.
Fuck out of here.
Pull it back up.
God, Jerome Ford, damn it. All right, Adam, you're the Browns insider.
Jerome Ford is, listen, I mean, deep stash in a long roster dynasty. I don't have a lot of hope for him making the field this season unless there's a ration of injuries. I did see that they could move on from Hunt to save some money. Here's my thing, though. Like, if Watson's going to be suspended for over half the season or the full season, like is kind of feeling like the vibe right now, I mean, why would you keep Hunt? I mean, you're not going to probably win. I mean, I don't know if you can trade him or you just cut him. Like, I do see a scenario where Hunt's just gone because this team, I hate to say it, man, it's probably going to, if it's Jacoby Brissett season, they're going to grind to another fucking 7-win season and not have their first, and it's just going to be Browns' disappointment. So, listen, though, but it doesn't matter. Unless Chubb's hurt, like, I don't really care for any of these guys. But if you want to roster and stash Dearness Johnson, I think for what he costs, it's probably smart.
I had to pull it up, too. I just kind of wanted to see what a team who would trade for Kareem Hunt would be taking on. Don't you take on $4 million in salary?
Yeah. It's not that expensive, man, honestly.
Well, not at all. And he looks like his cap hit next year would only be $4.8 million, too. So it's not like something absurd.
And the other thing to remember,
salary cap keeps going up too, you know.
Yeah, that's a great point. The salary cap keeps going up. That contract's nothing. And then the other thing too is, I think sometimes, speaking of the lineup, Mike and I off air were talking before we got on here about like some people think they're playing lineup versus best ball. When you start, everybody thinks their lineup as this like what we see on paper, and we go through this dynasty cycle where we forget how football works, and we forget that last offseason, before football was played, real meaningful games. Cam Akers, J.K. Dobbins, Travis Etienne, all hurt, right? And when that happens, guess what? Some team might call, hey, man, Kareem Hunt's still on your roster. Like, what do we got to do? You know, I mean, freaking the Rams bought Sony Michel for some cheap-ass pick, right? Like, it happens all the time.
Yep. Well, if we just had to predict right now, if Kareem Hunt were to get traded to somebody else, I think the trade is – he's a good enough player to get traded, right? Sony Michel is good enough to get traded for something.
Correct.
I don't know what that something would be, but we'll just assume it's something.
Sure.
And he doesn't have an outrageous contract where somebody wouldn't trade for him.
Yeah.
If you were like, what teams would want Kareem Hunt? Like, where would you think Kareem Hunt would fit right now?
I'm trying to think about that question. I feel like
it's got to be a competitive team, or what we think is going to be a competitive team, right?
Yeah, and that's why I feel like, listen, right now, even all these teams, they think they're set, right? The Rams thought they were set with Cam Akers and just Cam Akers, and he tore his freaking Achilles tendon, and they were like, oh, shit, we don't even have a backup plan because we don't really trust Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think one of these teams with an injury, I'll tell you who comes to mind for me, Mike.
Just right now with what we know.
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you a team that comes to mind for me is the Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh, Kareem Hunt and James Conner?
Yeah, because
I like that.
James Conner, I believe if James Conner takes that type of abuse again next season, like we've seen him not last for that whole thing, right? And if you can get him to take off some of the workload or, come in and, spell James Conner, Kareem Hunt's good in the passing game, right? So I think it would make sense.
What about, man, this is going to sound sacrilegious for me to say, but what about my Eagles, man?
Oh, I could really see that in Miles Sanders' resurrection.
I'm not saying it'd be the death sentence to Miles Sanders, but instead of Boston fucking Scott being his complimentary, like I like Kenny Gainwell, but I mean, Jesus Christ,
he's a better option than Kenny Gainwell.
Yes.
I think the Eagles have if they can get him for cheap, they have the money and they don't really care about throwing a later pick away. So it's a good one. I'm going to tell you what, this isn't a bad one here, although they just brought in McKinnon.
Back to the Chiefs, huh?
Yeah. What do you think?
Do you think they do it after the fallout, though?
That's the only question. But see, this is what's interesting about the NFL and just things in general. Time seems to heal all wounds, man. And
money and situation and championship aspirations heals a lot of wounds. So I guess
KC's been good. CEH hasn't been what they wanted him to be. There'd be a lot of feel-good vibes, I bet you, if you went back to KC.
If I was him, it wouldn't be a lot of feel-good vibes. It's like, y'all done.
Bro, you know what? It's interesting because, in Cleveland, he's from Cleveland. We were talking about how, like, some stuff, man, that just – I don't know if you saw Montrezl Harrell today. There's the news about him getting arrested with 3 pounds of marijuana.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how, like, man, he didn't even get, like, intent to distribute or anything. Like, what happened? And then I was like, man, you guys remember this? Like, there was video of Kareem Hunt. He got pulled over here in Cleveland when KC was about to go to the Super Bowl. And he's fucked up. And he's telling the cop, like, I should have been in that game. I don't know if you saw that video footage.
Yes.
And, like, I think you're right about, like, him, like, missing out on that time. But for him, you might get to go back and go play with Patrick Mahomes and have a chance for a Super Bowl, which I got news for you, man. If Watson can't play, it's not happening in Cleveland.
I know there's a lot of people who still hate Kareem Hunt, right? For me, a lot of it kind of cooled down when the media bullshit, the Twitter mobs kind of died down. I don't know. It's a weird conversation about him.
Like, yes, it was. It was actually ridiculous. And this is the crazy part that gets underlooked. He was on pace to repeat it in his second season until he got suspended.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he was on fire coming out the gate. Until that fucking video dropped.
Man, I'll never forget, man, in the keeper league, bro. I have Dalvin Cook, who was at that point, he was struggling coming back from that ACL, which we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved him for Kareem Hunt and thought, like, oh, yeah, we are ready to go. Like, literally a week later, Kareem Hunt was done not playing football again, and Dalvin Cook had a nice finish to that season.
Not even repeated, exceeded.
Yeah, he was on fire. He was on fire.
You want to take a gander at how many points per game he was scoring? He played 11 games that year.
I'm going to guess it was very close to that 20 neighborhood.
21. 20.9 to be.
He was outrageous. He was scoring touchdowns. He was catching passes. It was fucking crazy. And you know what's interesting, Mike? This is where I think sometimes, man, I'm glad you pulled it up. I think we're giving CEH over and over too much of a pass. And we're like, oh, the offense, Hill, Kelsey. No. We saw Kareem Hunt. We saw Kareem Hunt fucking dominate. Stop the CEH shit.
Listen, I said I would buy CEH, but I've never said it's going to be at a substantial price.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Like, he went in $1,000 auction today for $22. Okay, if you think of shit.
Like I said, I'd buy him for like a mid-second in this year's class pretty easily. Why not? Are you buying Baker with the recent Carolina news? Geez, another Baker story. Also, yes.
Thanks, my guy. I appreciate that. I thought that was you. I was like, man, I can't figure out who sent this. So nose pick and some stuff. I appreciate that. To answer your question, Mike, go ahead. You take this one, man. What do you think?
I've said for a while Baker should be a buy. People have been dunking on him and acting like he's never going to start anywhere again or he's never going to play again. It doesn't happen. Baker on Bob's consistency guide. We were just talking about it with Ray just a little bit before because I was looking up some numbers as far as best ball goes, and Baker was fucking horrible last year. Nobody knows that better than you, Adam. He had 3 fucking games all year where he was above average and nothing else. And the shoulder, I'll give him a pass a little bit on the shoulder injury. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Number 1 overall picks, like Baker, he's had a couple good years and made some progress, and last year was horrible for him.
Sure.
And since then, some of his antics and his demeanor hasn't helped his situation at all. He hasn't done himself any favors. But Baker has fucking talent. Baker is a decent enough quarterback, and he's the number 1 pick. Like, they don't just get thrown to the fucking garbage pile and never signed again. So if you're telling me, like, I got to send a mid to late second in this class, maybe a third, whatever the fuck people are valuing Baker at this point, I would definitely have already been in on, like, just fucking give me some Baker. Like, he's going to start somewhere again. It's going to happen. He's not done forever.
Right. I think, man, a couple good points you hit on I wanted to kind of touch on, and we'll get into some of the other questions. But one, listen, I think we need to kind of try our best to remind ourselves of this when we are dynastying, right? There are players and windows for those players that are exceedingly large, but the problem is everybody gets really scared off and buys into the recency bias, right? Baker had a horrible year, all this antics and stuff. Listen, we saw how bad has Mariota been? He's about to start this season, and he's had a longer time to show us that he sucks. Right, Jameis. But both those 1 and 2 picks in that class. That's exactly my point. They're starting this year.
Sam Darnold, the number 3.
Sam Darnold, unless this trade goes where they're swapping or something, is gonna start. Right, like,
but still, he got last year. Right, he got last year. Somebody traded for him.
Bro, he got last year, and he tried his best to get off the field, and they couldn't get him off the field. And here's the thing, though. Like, I think sometimes what we have to realize is, when you're buying it, like when you were buying Baker at the peak fall, right? Everyone's saying, okay, he's never going to play. Like, why is he never going to play again? And 2, you have to essentially like say what I'm buying him for. The risk isn't there if it falls all the way through and he doesn't ever play again. But if he starts anywhere, I'm winning tenfold, right? So, like, if you can still buy him for that, garbage piece or late second, yeah, absolutely. Because here's the thing. You may have to hold him for a while. He may not start week 1, but he is going to start in the NFL for at least 1 more, if not 2 more teams.
Yeah, follow up there. Follow up to the Baker and Carolina situation. What would that do for DJ Moore? I don't know if it helps or hurts DJ Moore. I mean, Sam Darnold's
it helps him, but not. Here's the thing. It helps him, but DJ Moore has kind of proven to us guys that he's quarterback. Like, it doesn't matter. If you give him an average or below average quarterback, he's going to be fine. Baker, I don't think, unlocks him like we would have loved a Watson
like doesn't
or somebody
take it
to
the
go.
Next level.
Yes.
Maybe
a little more consistency on passes, maybe a slightly higher upside, but he's not one of these elite quarterbacks that is going to unlock DJ Moore like we want to see.
Maybe it's a little bit better, right? Because Baker's not super turnover prone or super fuck up prone. He doesn't make a shit ton of mistakes, right? He's not Eli Manning back in the day.
Yep.
So maybe that keeps the offense on the field and gives them more scoring opportunities, and maybe you get a few more touchdown passes out of it because Carolina's been absolutely fucking atrocious in the last, 3-4 years at throwing touchdowns with Cam Newton and now Sam Darnold. Like, it has not been fucking good.
It's crazy to think, man, and you wonder why Robbie Anderson wants to retire. I mean, if you went through that last year, and they went all offseason and said, you know what, guys, we're going to do it again.
The best we can do is 3rd round pick Matt Corral. How do you feel? This is all we're going to do for you.
And what's crazy too, Mike, is that's a guy. I don't know if you remember him chewing into Sam Darnold a couple times towards the end of the year where he's fed up.
Yes.
Remember that they were boys from New York, and they were buddy. They were up at the podium like weeks in and week out together.
Yeah. Do you remember Robbie Anderson the year before?
Yes. How could you not? Crazy.
Revelation. Monster. And then last year there was nothing.
He had the drops early, and people were still holding out hope. And then, oh boy, you got a shit sandwich.
All right, fucking Baker Mayfield.
Stop.
Who you boys taking right now, Lance or Watson? Both have their own risks, similar type. This is Trey Lance by billion. Awesome.
Trey Lance. Listen, this is not close any longer. ADP may not be reflective yet of the difference between the two. But Trey Lance's risk is that he's not this great quarterback that we're hyping him up to be, but he's going to play on the field and he's going to score points with his legs. So he's going to give you fantasy points right now, and you can move him for a while this year.
He's got a high floor.
Yeah. Watson has no floor right now. And
floors is zero.
He honestly, like, I have never been on this until this recent push again. But, man, it's scary right now with him. He could miss a whole season, and then who knows what happens in civil court next offseason. Like, I don't want to tell you not to have Watson. Like, there's a point where I'm buying him, but it's nowhere near Trey Lance.
Garrett Axel says he likes a gunslinger air raid Baker to the pass-friendly Carolina. I could see it if you went back to, like, the Oklahoma days. But the problem is Lincoln Riley's not fucking coaching Carolina. Matt Rule's coaching Carolina, and woof, it has not been a fun ride for the Matt Rule fans out there, defenders or Carolina fans. Matt Rule doesn't inspire a lot of confidence into me.
I'll give you one last little piece since this is up here. Baker has always, for whatever fucking reason, I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but he seems to have this like chip on his shoulder mentality and this like thrive when all the cards are stacked against him.
Yep.
And this would be that moment where they're not going to win a lot of games. They're probably going to be behind. I remember watching Carolina all last year, all my DJ Moore shares, they're fucking trailing, throwing. Like, you could actually get a halfway decent season out of Baker this year as far as fantasy goes, I think.
Yeah, I can see it. Chemical Toilet Man, glad to have you.
Yo, what up, man?
On, man. Darnold is the worst. Obvious, non-biased Jets fan with the Zach Wilson avatar. Love it. Big Zach Wilson guy. Can't fight you. What are your thoughts on Trey Lance and Dynasty? Trey Lance is a popular one tonight, Adam. Have him in 6 of 8 Superflex leagues. Would you look to move him in a few? And if so, what should you be looking for? Yeah, man. If you wanted to diversify, if you're thinking like 6 out of 8, geez, I'm too exposed.
Diversify. Now,
I'd diversify a little bit. Why not?
This is a good question, though. Man, this is a very good question, Mikester, because.
Did you just give me a new nickname?
I did. You like that?
This is like I love you, man. You're just throwing fucking.
I love you, man.
Are you gonna call me Jobin next?
Jobin.
All right, go ahead.
Trey Lance is one of these like polarizing, tantalizing guys. There are some people in leagues, I guarantee you, I've talked to them all the time. They're like, "Oh, Trey Lance, we haven't even seen him play. He's not even any good." And then there's some people that like want to tout him as a basically top 6 type startup value player. So like this would probably be, especially since I have 6 shares, what I would do is I'd be pinging whatever leagues and seeing which ones have the Trey Lance truthers and see if you can up tier. If you can't, to me, I think what I've seen right now in the market, Mike, tell me if you disagree with me, is that I think Trey Lance is the best of the 3, but he should be in the tier with Justin Fields and with Trevor Lawrence. However, most people value Trey Lance at least a tier ahead of him, and ADP is reflective of that. So worst case scenario, I think you could probably trade down to one of those 2 and get a plus. Easily. Though
that was the first thing I was going to suggest.
Yep.
If I wanted to diversify a little bit off of Trey Lance, I'm going to go for Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
Yep.
Those are the next 2 logical ones. And you know, we've had the discussion. We got all 3 of those guys in a tier together, right? and we all rank them a little bit different. Both
Right.
you and I both rank them a little bit different. Trevor Lawrence should be first in that tier for me.
Yep.
And you're hey, Trey Lance needs to be first in that tier. So, but like you said, market doesn't indicate that they're even fucking close. So for me, if I'm looking at it, I'm going like, let me go see who's got Trevor Lawrence, and let me trade Trey Lance for Trevor Lawrence in a second. Just get something thrown on there.
Yep.
It'd be tits if you could get a first.
I don't know.
Maybe that.
Maybe you might be able to. I think though,
Fields you might get a first for though.
Yeah, Fields. It would be interesting to see the exercise. I would love to hear what happens for him, but like maybe you don't actually get the actual, here's a future first, but
yeah,
like I bet you can get in value in that neighborhood of a first for someone to go down, to come up from Fields to Lance right now because of the offense. We've talked about it, man. There's panic on Fields right now.
Yeah, I'd pick like just a handful of leagues, like maybe 2, 3 leagues tops, and just go send out those kind of offers for those type of quarterbacks, and then just diversify over your portfolio as a whole, right? Like if you get 1 or 2 of those deals done, then fine. Like you can just move on with yourself and you don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to send it out in every single league and see who accepts it, but just explore with a few and see if you can get some feedback. Hell, if that doesn't work, I mean, there's other quarterbacks out there I wouldn't mind, and you can probably get, a lot more if you were to go even shittier. You know what I mean? If you were to go down to the Tuas or the Zach Wilsons of the world, or if you've got a contender, go get Kirk Cousins in the first, and you probably get something else added onto it fairly easy. So just something to think about. All right, Swift or Najee in a keeper league? Oh, shit. Off the top rope here. Jeez, man. These guys are in the same tier for us.
I mean,
it's got to be Swift, right?
I personally probably would say if you put a gun in my head, give me Swift, but
I wouldn't hate either one.
It's pretty close for me. I would just take whatever is the cheaper option. If it's on the clock and it's the 2 of them, I tend to do a Swift. I'm a Swift fucking homer, and that's not really a knock on Najee. I'm not sitting here telling you I don't love him. I got shares of him. I think they're about the same in cost.
All right, that's my boy right here. What's Jacoby's value?
Chemical Toilet is hyping up the Chemical Toilet over here in McNutted. He's got all the quarterbacks in that shitty toilet. He's got Jacoby Brissett. He's got Ryan Tannehill. He's got Carson Wentz.
Oh, man.
Should we keep going? Matt Ryan. Who else?
So I'll tell you, in a Superflex 14-team startup auction that we're doing in Destination Debbie, 2018 2-copy. So we're just drafting against 14 people. I was willing to pay $16 for Jacoby Brissett. Does that give you a good value range? I'm willing to take a shot on him for $16. Fuck it, Adam. I might get a quarterback who starts most of the year.
Yeah, I mean,
$16.
Yeah, I thought about it quite a bit. Listen, $16. That's 1.6% of your budget. And you're probably looking at a quarterback that has a real chance to start 8 games at the worst. And you might get to start almost a whole season. I mean, whether he's good or bad in real life, he'll probably have weeks where he finishes inside the top 20 in fantasy just because.
I would say in best ball, he has value. I don't know if I'm going to value him much for anything in lineup leagues, Adam.
I still wouldn't like a 14-team league. You have to add quarterbacks. You may have a bye week where you have to play him or something.
What would you pay to go get him?
Are we talking regular 12-team right now?
Yeah, let's just stick to a 12-team.
12 teams. I'm not
actively trying to get him.
No.
What if he's on waivers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%, man. 100%.
What would you spend out of $100 budget to just throw Jacoby Brissett on your fucking team?
On a 12-team, if I needed a quarterback 3-4 just to have a piece, I don't know. Off-season fab's so hard to really predict because a lot of times you end up not using it or you spend so much extra unnecessarily on one person. I'd probably spend 25%, something like that.
Just kick it out there.
Yeah. I mean, crazier things have happened, Mike, than when quarterbacks get hurt and somebody comes calling during the season and you get a fucking second or something,
Very true.
Or a third, I mean,
Very
shit.
True. I don't And it would definitely be a play where I'm thinking about what I could deal him to somebody else because I have no fucking confidence if I had to choose when to start a guy like Jacoby Brissett.
Especially in lineup, Mike. I mean, best ball too. I'm always, the degenerate, fucked up mind of mine. I'm looking at every team and seeing, okay, boom, 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 boom. These are the quarterback needy teams, and here, have Drew Lock, have Geno Smith, have Jacoby Brissett types when they absolutely need one, or you get fucking them to pay a first plus for golf last season or something.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do.
I would definitely say I'm pretty open to him in our best ball leagues, dynasty leagues. Like
For
if I
sure.
could get him right now, if I could send a fourth, I might even think about a third and just kind of hedge my, put my nuts on the table that Watson is getting suspended for most of the year and Jacoby's going to be the guy. Yeah, in a best ball league, I might get 2 or 3 starts out of him. It's well worth the price of acquisition for me at that point.
100%. Best ball, especially for what he's going to cost you, is well worth the spot unless it's like super short bench.
Lineup league, I would say I'm probably not, like you said, I'm not actively looking to acquire him. If he's out there, like I guess if somebody take like a fourth for him, and then I'm gonna have the foresight to be like, I'm gonna gamble at some point during the season I can dump him to somebody for a second. That's what I'm hoping.
I would probably try to package some of the filth that might still have some names too, like Wangu or somebody like that. See it here, take this or whatever, and I'll see what happens with Brissett.
We're still filling out like taxi squads, right? We still got roster cut downs that have, for sleeper leagues anyways, that haven't officially like you had to do it yet. Why not package some of your junk that you're looking to get rid of anyways?
Those teams you pull up, you have 5 players to cut still.
Yeah, why not? DJ Moore, we believe. We all need DJ.
Yes, sir. DJ Moore to the moon, man. I'm still there.
Go down the Allen Robinson career arc. Yeah, we need DJ Moore to go down the Allen Robinson creek. That'd be all right. Mike, see, I wasn't the only one who caught that shit.
I like that.
You got no sleep. I'll give you a pass.
Mikester, look, is Mikester not the guy's name right there?
No. What the fuck are you talking about?
The YouTube guy's name. Hold on.
What guy? What YouTube guy? Oh, that guy. Okay.
Damn, y'all out here trying to make me hallucinate and shit.
Listen, man, that's way. All right. I just totally missed it. You threw this whole fucking thing off the rail. Jesus Christ. Fields plus a first would be a smash. Yeah, I'm fucking. I would not do Lance for Lawrence in a second. Interesting. Okay. I personally think they're all real close. Adam, what say you?
I say that. Listen, I think the sharp ones probably wouldn't do it because like I said, they should be considered in a tier. But I think that for whatever reason, maybe it's because we haven't seen Lance and there's still this like idea of him. We've seen Lawrence kind of fail and we've seen Fields kind of fail where there's a little bit of panic. So it probably depends on the manager. I'm not Tyler. I think there's plenty of people that might not do that, but I bet you for every one of you, there's someone out there that will.
Yeah, if I send it to you right now, you got Trey Lance. I sent you my Lawrence in the second, 23 second. You hitting the button?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine I wouldn't.
I don't see a lot of reason not to, I guess, unless you're Jay Rich and you hate Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of a scenario where I wouldn't. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me not to take that. Unless I just was like so loaded and I just like, you know what, fuck it. Like that second to me, I want to see Lance. It just value wise, it's Lawrence in a second for me.
All right. Sounds like you both are really cooled on Watson since the recent news. How do you rank him now? Watson versus Field, Lawrence, Hurts, Russ. He's not in the conversation with any of those guys.
Yeah, I mean,
the closest I could put him would be to like Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
I think he's clearly a tier below Jalen Hurts for me.
You know what, Mike? Let's you want to do a little freemium?
Well, why not, man? We worked on this the other night.
Yeah, I think this is a good segue into that.
We had to have an honest fucking conversation about
Deshaun. Because Austin, you're right. Before this push, like, yeah, we were buying into the hype and him maybe missing half a season and taking the risk. But
what did we have him at? 8? I thought I had him at like 8, maybe 8 or 9.
I think it was 9. It was right after Russ and those guys.
It was right after Dak and Russ, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The guys I felt really good about. And then I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let me go on Watson.
So now, right, the conversation pretty much what we had is, you got your first tier, 2 tiers, whatever you want to call them: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Then there's a next tier for us with Kyler, Joe Burrow, Lamar. Then you go Dak, Russell Wilson. And then this is where it's, the 3 guys we've been discussing, which I think is why this conversation is good with Watson here. Like, to me, whatever order you want to have them is fine. The majority of the population says Lance, but Lance, Lawrence, Fields, and then we put Hurts in that same tier at the last part of that tier. And I think that's where the clear tier break is right now before you want to take the risk on Watson. If you want to take the risk on Watson ahead of Stafford because of age and Rodgers, right, and ahead of Tua because we don't know that the upside really is there unless he shows us that this year, like, I can see it above all those other guys. I just don't see how you do it in front of any of the guys right here on this screen. I just can't.
That's where we had the disagreement, right? It's Watson and Stafford, where you would take Stafford before Watson, and I would take Watson before Stafford. But that's a risk tolerance thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, to me though, that's that like if you had to tell me like just dynasty value, don't talk about build. What would you take? I mean, I think that Stafford still has a couple of good seasons, and you're going to see him play, and I could maneuver him right now maybe. Where Watson, if he sits a full season, you're basically holding him. Like, you're basically going to hold him. So that's kind of where the difference is. If I'm rebuilding, though, clearly I would take Watson.
Watson over Stafford, yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, why not? Unless you were, I guess if you were really savvy, like, I take Stafford in the startup even though I'm productive struggling, but then I'm going to try to move Stafford to somebody who really needs a QB upgrade or something in season. But
right,
you always get the chance of, like, holding the bag, right? And, like, Stafford starting to decline or something. I don't think it's going to happen, but it wouldn't be crazy to think. I mean, guy's got back issues. He's had back issues in the past. It wasn't he won the fucking Super Bowl, Adam, but I think we can agree he had moments last year where he looked like Jared Goff.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think
shittier
overall. Like, he had a good season, and I still think he's going to be okay for a couple seasons, and he's going to be high passing volume, and he's going to be good. But there were some games and times, Mike, where you're like,
what happened?
Goff? Is that Goff back there?
That's where the joke was running between me, Ike, and Gene in the Discord the whole time. Was like, oh, look, Jared Goff played his game in Detroit in the morning and had enough time to fly out and play the game for Los Angeles in the afternoon. What a sweetheart. Oh, man. All right. Twitter take I saw. Take a shot on Paris Campbell. Got me thinking. Excluding first, second round, when should you take a shot on underperforming player versus drafting rookie with the pick, dependent on player? Paris Campbell. Would you trade a second-round pick, like a late one, this year for a guy like Paris Campbell?
A late 22 pick?
Say it's a 211.
So we're talking John Mechie or Paris Campbell, essentially.
John Mechie, John fucking Mechie or Paris Campbell.
Listen, I guess if you believe that, like, Paris Campbell is very talented and he's just been plagued by injuries, you want to roll the dice and do that, fine. I don't really love either one. So sometimes you got to get down in the muck. Paris Campbell, to me, even if he's talented, I have a hard time believing he's ever going to stay healthy. And I loved him coming up Ohio State. Pierre
Strong or Paris Campbell. Now we're getting into the third round somewhere. Even if we just say a guy like, because Paris Campbell's a guy I'd like to take a shot at, but there's about 50 of these fucking dudes out there. So
that's probably the appropriate range. I don't know, man. I guess I've cooled to the point where, like, I've seen him hurt so much that I have a hard time believing it's going to surface. So
I guess I shouldn't be saying like Pierre Strong, because de facto I'm going to want to take one of these rookie running backs.
That's my thing. Like, if you make me pick exactly him, I'll just take the upside of, because here's the thing. I think if Pierre Strong hits or Paris Campbell hits, I'd rather have Pierre Strong.
Khalil Shakir or Paris Campbell. This one's easier for
Paris Campbell, but
okay. Yeah,
it's
good.
It's a third round range, I guess. Paris Campbell. There's upside there if he stays healthy and there's no one else breaks out in that offense, but
that's in this class too, man. You know what I mean? Where, ugh.
Yeah, I think though to answer the question, I guess for me it depends on the player. The more and more though, I've been doing this and learning about this, and hearing people that I value, and I think the injury, whether it's injury or just bad performance, like more than one season of face planning is just it's a losing bet. So maybe it hits, maybe you get the one lucky hit, but more often than not, it's just not gonna surface.
I mean, how many of these guys have literally, whether it's injury or just shitty play, though? Like, how many guys can you think of that have done nothing in 2 years?
Off the top of my head, I can't.
And then actually went on to, like, do anything for you. You know what I mean? Like, Devontae Parker was a year 5 breakout, but he at least, like,
he showed you at times. I mean, because you know what happens more often than not, Mike, is they're Kevin White.
Yeah, do nothing ever.
Like
ever.
We kept believing. 3 years. You're reading articles. Year 4. He's finally gonna make it now. He says he's healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, listen. I'm not trying to hate on Paris Campbell, the person. It's just I that's about all I have for this short discussion.
All right, Kenneth Walker plus what for Dalvin Cook on a contender?
No thanks.
Ken Walker plus no thanks.
Plus Paris Campbell. Are you adding to Dalvin Cook or to Kenneth Walker to get Dalvin Cook?
Market would say yes.
I don't give a fuck about what market says. Mike, you and I have him over Dalvin Cook in our rankings.
I know. But that's also because Dalvin Cook is injured.
Okay, but all right. I'm not saying you won't make the trade on a contender.
Like a third, maybe?
Okay, Paris Campbell. There we go. There's your answer. Like that's not
second, if I had to, but I'd try to get something else back. You know what I mean?
Would you send John Mechie?
I'd send John Mechie. Fuck
yeah,
John Mechie.
I'd send John Mechie. I'd send one of those seconds that we really don't believe in. But
like I'm talking a legit contender, Adam, where I'm like, not like I want to be a contender. I'm like, bitch, I won this last year. This roster's still good. Somehow I ended up with Kenneth Walker.
Okay,
I'll pair something to go.
Can I give you where in that scenario actually I would maybe not want to do it? If I knew I was so good that I won last year, I'd be a little more willing to say like, let me let the hype build on Kenneth Walker, and then if I need to move him, I can still move him. But right now, like, what if I sit on him for 4 weeks and then boom, here comes Kenneth Walker? You know what I mean?
I get it. Those are like how you make the long-term dynasty, and I never really think about it like that term. Like,
well, I'm not saying you can't do it. Like, if it's a contender that I know I don't have depth on, I would make the move. But like, if I'm a stacked team, like I'll hold Kenneth Walker.
Man, sometimes even on them stacked teams, like I just want to make them more stacked.
Go for the jugular, yeah.
I
just traded 2 24s for Mixon today, and I'm like, I probably didn't need to do that, but this team's so good, I just would rather have all the running backs and just say fuck you all.
We just keep it going.
Yeah.
It is like that where you just want to back-to-back years of winning the whole fucking thing. Sometimes just feels good. Like now, I really don't give a shit what happens.
Yeah.
This fucking league could fold tomorrow, and I'll be just fine. I'm walking out of here with thousands of dollars.
I guess, listen, Tyler, like if you're a contender, and I guess there's a couple of discussions here, actually, if I want to be real about it. One, if you're an elite contender, I love Meister. Yes. What up? Oh, damn, why I got to be all that? Love you too. If you're an elite contender to me, like, and you're a piece of depth away, and you really want to secure Cook, fine. I just think that like a second would be the absolute max for me, and there's no fucking way I'd go any higher than that. That's just the way I dynasty. If you're comfortable going higher, do it. But here's the problem. I will be honest with you. Most people don't dynasty like Mike and I do, and like the shitheads do. So like, I don't think Kenneth Walker in a second gets it done for most people.
Probably not. They're probably like, I need a first.
Yeah,
Dalvin Cook.
Exactly. No, if you're Kenneth Walker in the first, and I'll give you Dalvin Cook.
Look what he did last year, bro.
He's behind Chris Carson still, didn't you know?
Here's a screenshot of keep trade cut. Something along those lines.
You saw that you saw that Jordan Huffman stuff I was putting in there about how you know he's
fuck that shit, man.
That's so great. God, so great.
Austin says interesting thoughts. Appreciates the freemium. So I think Fields is on a Darnold track. No way I could take Fields over.
Wow.
I definitely could see. Man,
whoa, that's strong though. Was his rookie season was not as bad as Darnold? Go ahead, Mike.
Also, man, we're writing rookie quarterbacks off after 1 year, which is scary to do for me. Like I can't do that after 1 year. Man, we've gotten spoiled in the past couple of years where we think every quarterback coming out is going to be fucking Kyler Murray's rookie year, or Justin Herbert his rookie year, or Joe Burrow his rookie year, and every damn wide receiver is going to be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, or going to break rookie records like Jalen Waddle and catch 1 billion passes. This is not how it usually goes, man. Like it takes a couple of years sometimes. Now, the concerning things are like what you were talking about with wide receivers. Yeah. Is if they're face planters and they don't do fuck all their rookie year. Mm-hmm. Like they don't do shit. Like they Rondell Moore it, or they Laviska Shenault it, or they Brian Edwards it. Like these guys who don't do fucking anything, Jalen Reagor. Those are the ones I'm worried because we got numbers to back it up. We ain't got a lot of numbers at the quarterback or running back position where it's like, well, if they don't really perform up to certain standards, like they're going to be dog shit. No, we see it all the time, man.
Yeah,
we see it all the time.
So I mean, look, I don't want to get too far into this. I don't remember Darnold's season all that well because I thought it was really bad. I think if you think that he was comparable to Darnold, like I would go back and look at stats and look at the way you have to. Sometimes stats don't tell the whole story. You have to kind of watch the games. He progressed a lot as the way he was viewing the pocket, his comfortability, the way he was moving and utilizing his legs. And that's another thing for me about him that's different than most is he offers the Konami code that is kind of what I think everyone wants for that quarterback one type quarterback. So
that few quarterbacks offer in
Correct.
his form, right?
Correct.
Not a lot of guys that big and that fast. You know, like we're like, oh shit, Josh Allen's he's a Konami, he's big. He ain't that fast though.
No, Josh Allen offers that. Josh Allen offers that old school Cam Newton, double digit touchdown upside maybe, but he doesn't offer the 50-yard run pretty much.
Yeah, just fucking gone.
Right.
All right, Josh Allen, we're CD plus 2 firsts. Ooh, man, or is that unrealistic for CD plus first and second?
Listen, I think this would depend a lot on a lot of things for me. One, listen, I had to talk with somebody in the Heisman chat today who kept seeming to want to go up and get these quarterbacks. For me, listen, if you're going to go get this elite quarterback and pay up the nose for it, like it better be start 9 lineup, start 10 lineup tops. Otherwise, I want no part of that.
Or you're like stupid loaded with depth anyways.
I'm talking out of a startup here. I'm sorry. Let me just preface by saying that. Yeah, if you have the capital and you've built a fucking kingdom
monster,
and you can fucking just throw picks away, yeah, go ahead. Especially in those lineup leagues where it's start 9, 10, even 11 probably at that point if you've got a loaded team. Cool. But, man, like this, I would have to know that this is a lineup in a shorter lineup league to even want to put a consolidation near this into Josh Allen, as much as I think he's great. Like I have to know that first, and I have to know that you're set in depth to even think about this.
Like, man, if CeeDee Lamb is like your wide receiver 3 of your team, you know what I mean? Like your third most valuable wide receiver. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Like I'll find somebody else to fill this spot. Let me,
and you know what? Let me answer why. The same reason I answered in Heisman, why I don't want to go from 303 and a 23 first to 110, maybe you get Dak Prescott, okay? The same principle still here applies, and I'll explain why I don't want to do that, what I would prefer to do with this type of assets, right? I'll take CeeDee Lamb and I'll down tier him, right? So I'm going to go from CeeDee Lamb to Deontay in a first plus or whatever. Now all of a sudden I got 3 firsts that I can leverage, and instead of having Josh Allen, I can use 3 firsts to do so many different things with my team. It's just that's the way I would prefer to utilize all those values that I have.
I can feel that. All right. Who's risen up or fallen the most in ADP for us so far this offseason? We'll just answer the first part, and then we'll get to the second part. In your mind, like who from the start of January till now, who have you too easy to say the rookies, right? Malik Willis went from being a third-round fucking startup pick.
Yeah, Malik Willis would be the fall.
Okay.
How
I'll
tell you,
actual vets?
I'll tell you who. Does it have to be? Can it just be a non-rookie?
Yeah, not just non-rookie. I don't want it to.
I'll tell you who I think. I'll tell you who I think it is. I think it's Rashad Bateman.
Oh fuck yeah, yeah, that'd be an easy one. Yeah, he goes from like a guy we were drafted in the 9th. You and I
back end 9th. There would be times where like he made it to me, and I'm thinking like,
yeah,
I thought he would go in the 7th.
Now I'm thinking about him in the 6th.
Yeah, his ADP is trending even further up.
Hell yeah, that's a pretty easy one. Everybody else is kind of staying in the same ballpark.
I'm trying to think if there's any other like crazy movers. Let me think about that one, T-Rock. I'll get back to you. But to me, off top of the dome, it's Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any like fallers I had. Big faller.
Claypool fell a decent amount, but he didn't start all that high this offseason.
Yeah, he was in the same spot. Outside of, man, I'm trying to think of a guy. Hunter Renfrow.
Hunter Renfrow fell.
As soon as the Devontae Adams trade happened.
Yep. You know who's a faller, Mike? That's a little higher up. If you have, I'm trying to think higher up of the scale. I think the highest faller, in my estimation, based on top 4 startup picks, is DK Metcalf.
But he didn't fall for me in my ranks. So
no, but I'm saying this is based on ADP. DK Metcalf's now a 4th round pick.
Yeah, but he's asking us for us, like our ADP, like how we draft.
Oh,
right? If you
okay.
just went off ADP, this man can look for his goddamn self.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I was going off of ADP and what we're seeing the market do. I apologize.
Fair enough.
For me personally, this is like I was already high on Bateman then, so that's also not the correct answer either. I'm trying to think about this question.
Ooh, Tyreek's a good one.
Tyreek is the biggest faller for sure in the higher end.
The higher tier, right? He goes from, top 10 easily wide receiver to 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that would be
Rodgers.
Ooh, great one. I was just thinking quarterbacks, and you beat me to. I was gonna probably get to him because we did that Ike and Gene podcast. Yeah.
How about the rise of Derek Carr? Kind of an afterthought, maybe a 6th, 7th rounder. Now this motherfucker I'm seeing going in like 3rd rounds of drafts and startups, which is wild to me. I'm not taking him there, but 4th round, I think it's a fucking conversation.
Carr is another one based on the market has gone significantly up. For me though, like
I'm more
bullish. I'm now out on him because of where he's going startup. Yes.
At cost, yes.
I was in on Derek Carr as a cheap quarterback 2-3, but now I'm not.
Who do you think will fall rise later on during the preseason? This is fucking easy for me, man. First running back to tear his ACL, get injured, be out for the year.
You know what, man?
Unless we have a year with no running back injuries. The first running back who does it, down they go.
That's a really good one. I mean, that's the correct answer. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to kind of skate the question because that's what I'm choosing to do. Sorry, T-Rock. I'm going to tell you one thing that I think we don't think about enough on rebuilds, right? Mike and I have talked about this, and I think this is a good question for thinking about this point. We think on these rebuilds, we got all these assets that are safe when they're players. The fuck you do. Because I'm telling you right now, you're safe, awesome. I don't care what he is, wide receiver, quarterback, running back, that tears an ACL and an MCL is going to lose a shit ton of value. And that is why sometimes like people want to say, why take all these picks? Like your roster's horrible. Well, it's, you know what's basically guaranteed is that all these picks don't lose value. And the only time they actually ever have is if you held them all the way to the like rookie draft this year. This would be the one outlier. And even then, a month before we're gaining value, right? Like so.
Well, even then, like, we're still seeing stupid shit. Noah Fant for Dameon Pierce, straight up, some dumb shit like that.
But yeah, I mean that's a good point though.
Do you think it's very likely that Pierce Strong and Kevin Harris runs a pass backfield and then he followed up a year or two? Not this year, of course. Man, I'm gonna go with Kevin Harris.
Yeah, I would take Kevin Harris too.
I'm gonna bank on the rebound, and he's cheaper. He's cheaper than Pierce Strong. I'll take a little bit of a discount, and I'll just go on Kevin Harris and stash him. Though Pierce Strong's not bad, it's just Jesus Christ, man. If both of these guys are there and they're both turn out to be good, you're gonna be in the same fucking situation we are now with like Ramondre or Damian Harris. Neither.
Listen, I would take Kevin Harris because I believe in that prospect the best. But Jesus Christ. Listen, Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, Pierre Strong, and Kevin Harris, and then you add in the hoodie, and then you add in James White.
Stop it. Ton of underperformers, you guys, just for scraps. I like letting the hype build shoot. Watch the Kamara owner panic when he gets suspended if you're not the owner. Yeah. The Kamara panic already happened. I got him for Daniel Jones straight up. Adam got to witness that in person.
Okay, I like this. I like these type questions. Okay.
I have JT, ETN, Hall, Dillon, running backs, Adams, Higgins, all four of the Moores, Bateman.
Wow.
Garrett Wilson, Kittle, Burrow, and Lance as quarterback. Okay.
All four of the Moores. Holy shit.
Yeah. A lot better.
Is there a question?
This is the Josh Allen.
Is this a flag? Josh
Allen
sorry.
For CeeDee Lamb and 2 firsts. You got Burrow and Lance, man. I don't know if I'm.
What do you gain though? Let me ask you that.
Yeah.
What do you gain from Josh Allen here, other than just you have 3 decisions? Like you have a decision every week.
So would you rather have Burrow and Allen as your starters, Lance coming off the bench with Adams, Higgins, Bateman, or would you rather have Adams, Higgins, CeeDee Lamb, Burrow, and Lance as your quarterback, and still have your first to go get another running back or something, or a tight end or whatever?
Listen, all right. So let me say this based on this question.
I think I'm holding.
There's man, this is I guess one of those teams though it's loaded. I would say this: if you're really set on going to get Josh Allen and that owner is like willing to move him, like I would just with this type of a lineup, I would just at this point I normally never do this, but I would just up tier one of those 2 quarterbacks for a one asset.
Austin. Not writing off Fields because of anything he's done. I'm actually from Cincy, so a big Buckeyes fan. I just know the Chicago front office is about to treat Fields the next 3 years. Yeah, but we don't necessarily know that either. Like, they go out and they trade for Terry McLaurin or DK Metcalf. How you feeling now? Like that, it'll fucking change people's opinions like that. So,
yeah, and I also think I'm interested to see how the new coaching staff does.
No, T-Rock, I did not catch it yet. It'll come up though. I got work tomorrow, so. All right.
That came out yesterday? Oh, I'm going to check that out.
As a contender, you guys confident in this wide receiver room for 22 to win now? Kupp, DJ Moore, Terry, Smitty, Godwin, Gage, Tony, 12 teams, Superflex, half PPR, start 9. If not, who would you target for a trade? I want no part of fucking Chris Godwin on a contender, and I've been that abundantly clear.
Well, I think this is actually a very good team, though, Dynasty Barry, to
Kupp, DJ Moore, and Terry's fine. Smitty is depth, flex. Russell Gage, whatever you get out of him, and a nice start. And Tony Godwin would be fucking gone.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying, especially on a team like this. I know there's some people that don't want to get rid of Godwin. They feel like they want to hold. But what are you holding for here? Like right now, Kupp this season is supposed to be awesome. Like we all expect him to be. Yep. DJ Moore for me is a great wide receiver 2. Terry wide receiver 3. Smitty wide receiver 4. Like start 9. You got maxed. So in start 9, you're going to have 2 wide receivers and 2 flexes. Like there's just Godwin is a perfect opportunity now, and it's your window's really shrinking because as the hype builds that he's not going to play till October and November. I saw something to come out that there's no timetable for his return. So I think Godwin before the panic gets bad would be the one I would be looking to move, even if it's in a package to go get something in your running back room or quarterback room or tight end room to up tier this team a little bit more and start 9.
So I could say I've been one of the first ones on the sell Chris Godwin long before it was cool to do so. It's just becoming cool now, but I'll take credit
Nate
for
List just recently came at his throat.
Said, buy him. Buy him. I'll fight him. Me and Nate do it. It'll be a showdown right there. Receivers, I'd sell fucking Chris Godwin for right now on a contender. Straight up. Gone off my team. Be completely happy with it. Bateman. See ya. Pittman. See ya. Keenan Allen. See ya. Mike Evans. See ya. Darnell Mooney. See ya. Cortland Sutton. See ya. Easy.
I'd probably do Elijah Moore too.
I would throw him in there too.
For the value play. But I also think like Godwin, depending on the manager, still carries this, sacrilegious sound over his name.
Why he's going in the 6th round? I don't understand. There's some other guys who should be going. He should be in the 7th, 8th round. I'm cool there. Wide receiver 30-ish. Fine.
Yep.
Anything before that? Oh, thank you. All right. Lineup league, not best ball.
Yeah. Move Godwin.
See ya. He's out of there. So on Josh Allen, I was looking at tearing down to CD. Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay. If you're going to move Josh Allen with that team, fuck yeah.
Josh Allen 4 CD and 2 first.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
What especially had Lance and Burrow as your backup. Like, I guess I got to start Trey Lance in my Superflex. I think you'll be fine. You'll do all right, buddy.
Listen, I'm going to tell you the other key to sustaining
and then you crazy on CD.
Yes, that's one of the keys, honestly, to sustaining these godly contenders that you form, like those, is you just keep moving. Even if it's a stud, like just one piece here and there. And when you acquire 2 picks from, guess what? Everyone else isn't. Those teams and those 2 first, if they're mid first and now it's CD, like, geez, man, look out. Like you keep acquiring other people's first with teams like that, it's over.
What about a follow-up? Just a follow-up. Would you then like trade like CD for Michael Pittman first?
Probably. I think the only thing I would say with a team that good is there's very rare scenarios I want to keep a guy like CD, and it's like if that's a shallow starting lineup team and you have all those guys, maybe I don't tear down some of them, but like more often than not, yes, give me Pittman in the first every time.
On that deal, Tyler, yes.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Trade Josh Allen for CeeDee Lamb in 2 first, and then what you do is you post it in the Discords, one of them.
And Tyler, if you
talk about it.
If you go to our startup heat map, you'll see CeeDee Lamb basically based on ADP is equating 2 first plus, and then you get those 2 first. You're over the 4 first mark that we want for Josh Allen. So he's gone every time for me if you get the full value.
Yeah. And even rebuilding with Godwin, man, I'd just rather go somewhere else. I don't want to play the game of who the fuck the quarterback is in Tampa 2023.
I think the crazy part is, like, if you do it, I get what you're doing. To me, though, the market still is telling me that I can rebuild on a younger player and maybe even get a plus.
For the Dalvin question, Jesus, we're all over the place here. I got to move faster.
Okay, so Dalvin Cook and the Kenneth Walker was that team.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, but why? You had all those running backs. That's where I would hold Kenneth Walker. You had Breece Hall, JT. I don't know if you want to scroll back up to it, Mike. I can do it. Hold on.
Let's see if we can find it.
Yeah, I can find it.
You take that, I'll take the bottom.
Go ahead. Yep.
That's all right. Don't worry about that. We'll get it figured out, buddy. That's what we're here for.
Here you go, by the way. So you have JT, ETN, Hall, and Dillon. I mean, okay. You had Cook to this, nice, but like I'm perfectly fine starting JT, Hall, ETN, Devontae Adams, Higgins, and DJ Moore.
AJ Dillon as a fill-in.
Yeah, man. Like I would almost prefer to have the Kenneth Walker upside shot here. If you wanted to add Cook to this, you can do it. To me, though, like this team has the horses to wait it out with Walker if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, especially adding anything. Fuck that. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm with Mike.
I'll hold it. I would hold it. Fuck it. And then let the hype build on Kenny Walker and sell him to some other dumbass. That's what you do.
Look at T-Rock. You know T-Rock loves those receivers. Oh man, is this a question?
I hope not.
Bateman over Davis. I had somebody hit me up like, "Oh, should I send this 24 first for Gabe Davis?" And I sent laughing emojis, like I thought he was playing around. And then, wait, you're being serious? No, stop it! Stop it!
I will argue with you till I'm blue in the face, Austin. I will Jon Snow this shit. I will come against the horde of Nateless and his entire army and take them on. I do not fucking want a wide receiver who's probably going to do fuck all this year. Maybe not have Tom Brady next year. Is coming off a major multi-ligament knee injury.
Yeah.
And just go check out Jeff Mueller. We'll shout out Jeff Mueller, Destination Debbie, right?
Yep.
Back in the Heisman tier, back to being gold with us. He put up a good Gabe Davis analysis there compared to some of the other receivers. And he just compared him coming off just strict ACLs, not multi-ligament knee tears. So go check it out. It's he's not a good bet for 22, and 23 doesn't make me feel all warm and cozy. So, hey, to answer your question, Tyler Cook I think has got another top 5-6 season in, but you don't need him. Wouldn't blame me for it. Just realize you only have Cook for like 2 more years, maybe you get him for this year.
Yep.
What's up, man? Glad to have you in here.
Yes, sir.
Godwin, a master father in ADP.
Not enough.
The market's been really fucking slow on it. Really, really slow.
I mean, he's still going pretty high. He's basically going neck and neck with Terry McLaurin. Think about that.
I get it, man. Nate List loves him and Matt Harmon loves him, but they're not acknowledging the injury thing. I can tell you that. Like the injury guys that I talked to, the injury research that I did, just looking at what other people's works are. I'm not a fucking doctor.
Well, and Nate List's video, and I love Nate List to death, by the way. Let me say that.
Yeah.
I think he's great content. One thing he talked about in that, whatever it was, less than 10-minute video was the ACL. If it was just an ACL, I could maybe even see your point. But I think we have to understand that it's not just an ACL. He tore his ACL and MCL. That's not a good surgery to have.
There was 2 things in that video. That was the first one, which you mentioned. Not mentioning that there's a multi-ligament injury. Mm-hmm. The second thing was compared him to other wide receivers who tore their ACL. Almost all those guys who tore his ACL that he was comparing them to were guys who tore their ACL at the beginning.
Early
in the year.
Right, correct.
Godwin did it very late.
Late and two tendons. So just...
man, you're going to have to keep coming down another 3-4 rounds to get to Michael Thomas territory. And Michael Thomas didn't get to Michael Thomas territory until he didn't play for 2 fucking years.
No, we don't have to go. I don't have to go this far.
No, I'm not that far.
I bought him for $46 in the auction, and I thought I was bidding him up. So,
hey, disagreements are okay, man. I like to talk things out.
Yes, we should always have some. Like if you think exactly like Mike and I do, you have problems because we have problems too.
That's what we keep T-Rock for in the Discord, to keep us honest.
T-Rock.
I know he's 26, T-Rock. He's going to be 27 before you can hope to get production back from him. And that's with a Tom Brady-less one.
No, you know what?
What are you looking at, 28?
Hold on. You know what, T-Rock? Let's talk about a guy on the same team that when he was 27 was basically being treated in Dynasty like he's geriatric last year in Mike Evans. So let's be real about this age thing that happens in Dynasty.
Shorts brings up a good one. Bateman Davis thing was for risers. Gabe Davis.
Oh, riser. Okay. Fair enough.
Not for me.
Fair enough.
Not for me.
ADP, though, he rose up. I mean, you got people signing first out here, so shit.
Thomas, yeah, he definitely is the riskier older asset. Nick from BDG will tell you that we typically see in a full season before recovery on these knee injuries.
You know what he says?
For 23.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
We get to talk to him on Friday.
I'm excited. It's going to be a fun one. Yep.
You guys are here on Saturday. So just in case you were wondering, hey, where's 4D on Friday? It'll come out Saturday. We're going to talk to Nick on Friday.
Yep. Nick will be on the show. Nick will be on 4D.
This is what you do when you get real big-time guests, real good ones like Nick. You move your fucking schedule for them, right?
Yeah,
they don't move it for us.
I'm taking off work on Friday. I'll be basically, waited with bated breath at the desk down here.
Guess what? We're going to peer pressure Ray to come on the following week.
Oh, yes. And I love that. And Austin, here, hold up. Before you go slandering 4D out here, Nick Ercolano's coming on the show, so watch your mouth.
It's gonna happen. I appreciate it, man. Anytime.
Thanks, brother. Really appreciate that, dog.
It means a lot to us. It means a lot, all the support that we get. So, territory on Michael Thomas being just a narrative with the injury and projection. Okay. Yeah, it's I would definitely still have Godwin. Jesus Christ, how much higher do we have Godwin than Michael Thomas?
It should be
14, 15 spots.
It should
That's
be
a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
and we're
14, 15 spots at that part of the rankings is a substantial difference.
Listen, we're not completely out on Godwin, right? You just bought him in the fucking auction league, right? You just
Listen, I did it.
You told me you don't feel good about it, but look at the fucking price, man. They're cheap. Like Christian Watson went for $39.
I just think that I'm not mad about Godwin at 46, and I have a plan on what's going to happen with him. But if you're listening, you may hear me talk about trading out and Mike trading out. So know that's coming. But we're not like completely out of it. But
it's all good here.
We're playing. Listen, if you think we like to play around, we're in no means are we mad at anybody. We want you to talk shit to us. Please do it.
I don't do anything maliciously.
Yeah.
I get the people on Twitter like, "Oh, you're big mad." I'm like, anybody who fucking knows me knows I'm typing this response and I'm laughing my ass.
I told Mike. I had to tell Mike a couple times, like, listen, man, like you don't realize that if people that don't know you, they don't realize you're fucking around. Like you hit him with something like that on Twitter. That's why you get blocked. Like, look at this big dude talking all this shit. Damn. He's just playing. He's just playing, man. He's just a big teddy bear. He's just talking shit, you know.
I get into it with anyone. Ray, Nick, it don't matter. I'll have fun with it. That's what I'm here for. Have fun, talk fucking fantasy football. We got disagreements. It's no malicious intent ever. So, is what it is. Oh, there is like those randoms out there, like those team fans. When you say something bad about a player, like last year, there's a guy.
Hey.
Cam Newton comeback season was his fucking tag on Twitter.
You remember what's his name in the league? That one league we were in, the Dynasty League. He was all talking shit with Cam Newton. It was his background.
Yeah, that guy too.
that was a fun one. Then when Mac Jones, was dunking on people, running over people in the end zone.
We will get the boss man on here.
Of course. We
were just talking about it the other day. And I was talking about having Bob Lung on. And then this week we're having Nick on. He's like, shit, you never asked me onto the podcast. And I'm like, well, fuck, time to nut up or shut up. How about the next week we get you on? Okay, man.
We would love to have him on. I mean, damn, dude, you don't have to. You can basically, Ray, if you're watching this later, you can budge our podcast whenever the hell you want. Like, you want to come on 4D, I'm coming on 4D this week. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. You're on.
You got to schedule it.
Right.
You just tell us. Like I said with the Nick thing, we don't make them adjust our schedule. We adjust theirs.
Nope, exactly. Listen, if it's just Mike and I, it's going to be on Wednesdays. Other than that, it could be whenever the hell.
ATM is taking
Friday. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to do a Nick Ercolano podcast. I can't believe AMA is just talking about 4D Friday, but what the hell? It's a daytime podcast. Because, my man's big time. He's got studio, big time. He works office hours doing this. So I'll be poured up at around 11:30. You can bet your ass it'll be a drunk night. You might catch me in Discord if you want to, have a good time. Mike and I maybe jump on later.
Well, let's get these rapid fire so I can get you out of
Let's
here.
Let's go. I'm not in a rush. I'm having fun now.
How do you think Garrett Wilson would do this year? More or less targets than Elijah Moore? I'm going to say less. I'm going to say less.
But I could see him becoming the alpha, but I think we sometimes underappreciate the rookie start, right?
Adjustment time, adjustment period,
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. I don't think they'll get about the same. I think Elijah's number one this year pretty easily. Team I had before knowing you have Bijan next year. Go get Cook. No, still no for me.
But let me ask you, like, I just don't understand. I get the depth thing, but like you're just gonna give yourself a fucking headache with lineup decisions, and then you're gonna have Cook aging, and if Kenneth Walker pans out, you're gonna be like, in 6 months, what did I do?
You could have had JT, Breece Hall, Bijan, and Kenneth Walker.
You could have had the flex RB stuff
all young, and they just keep falling off like 1 year after the other, right? And then you just keep recycling, and yeah.
That's how you work it, man. Yep.
For me, yeah, Godwin over MT by a bit. Wilson plus Elijah, I'm stoked for. Too bad the fucking goddamn it. He's always got to hit me in the ball sack, don't he? T-Rock.
You know what? T-Rock, he enjoys coming on here and just laying some wood down. I like it.
I go for people's throats on the fucking engagement post, man. They know what they were doing.
The fantasy draft room, he's starting to come tuned to what Mike likes to do. I like this.
They knew what they were doing. All right, let's just say that. They knew exactly what they're doing. Like, I even put it in there. Maybe it's an honest mistake, but they know what the fuck they're doing. It's just juicy for content. Yeah, we try. And yes, Austin and I try to go hard at it. I just like to call out the stupid shit, man. Just be honest, man. You don't got to do all the bullshit for takes. Make sure your content's good. Put some stuff out there that people actually enjoy reading. All it is anymore is like we just put a headline so people click on it and be like, oh, you're crazy, man. Dak Prescott, top 10 QB. Breaking news, Adam. Did you know that?
No,
we should strongly consider him.
Man, I wish that I would have ever thought about Dak being a QB1, let alone the QB1. I mean, wow, crazy. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, Ray Lucy Goosey.
I love that. Yeah, listen. If you're around us at the Expo, you better plan on drinking. Unless you're Kyle.
Olave might have been a better fit for the Jets, to be honest. Elijah Moore, more of that possession, like explosive slot role. Olave stretching the field.
I could see it. I think though, I could see him just getting a bunch of targets and not keeping his value up.
See, this is where we get people, Tyler. We don't do a fucking show sheet.
Yeah. You know what?
We tried a show sheet for one episode, the first one, and said, fuck that thing.
I was setting the thing all up with Nick, and he's like, okay, yeah, just send the confirmation and all this over to the email with the Mike sent it, but I can tell you there's no show sheet. There's no agenda. Get on, and we'll flow,
Who's this just Hunter Renfrow that is a super low now but has a skill to blow up?
These are the most impossible to predict, though, T-Rock.
T-Rock, if I knew that, I probably wouldn't be talking to you because I would just win every league every single year. Like, if I could predict those kind of guys. I don't think anybody can, right? We saw Hunter Renfrow in a sharp league get fucking dropped to waivers before the season started.
I'm trying to think.
The random dude?
I'm trying to think of, guys, and this is the truth about it, T-Rock. There's a bunch of guys I'm going to like here, and picking the correct one, though, is just – it's insanity. I'm trying to think of guys I'm targeting a lot in these later ranges, right?
All right, what about a guy that's kind of gross and nobody really likes? Jarvis Landry. A little bit of a rebound in New Orleans.
Over New Orleans? Like big time season, though? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe. It could be the Renfrow role, right?
Yeah. Similar? Why not?
That's not a bad one.
Jamison Crowder?
That's really taking a deeper dive in ADP, but I actually like that one, especially if you're troubled about Gabe Davis. I'm trying to think of some other ones here. I'll be honest, I think the Russell Gage thing is kind of getting to the point of overhyping now.
Jacoby
Myers.
Positive touchdown regression?
Yep.
Just some thoughts.
It's not.
I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers. Fuck it. I like Jacoby Myers. And somebody's going to lose their mind like you shouldn't trade the 209 for Jacoby Myers. Fuck that. Trade the 209 every goddamn time for Jacoby Myers.
Trade that shit. Yeah, man, it's really gross down there. Gosh, it's so impossible. You know what? You know who I'm not going to quit? I just talked all that shit about, not producing and all that. You know who I won't quit? And I don't know why. Man, this is going to sound crazy, man. It's Visca. I don't want to quit him.
I ain't going to join you on that one, buddy.
I see the guy who's bidding on him in the Heisman currently, too.
There we go. That's my man. Fuck that show sheet. Just hit me raw.
By the way, it's not going to be Visca, by the way, but I won't quit him. So.
Ship his pants. He will ship his pants. So we'll get that set up for T-Rock and Austin to exchange pants in case Christian Kirk blows up.
I love this. I thought you were.
K-Bach, man, I'm glad you joined, buddy.
Yes, sir. Hell
always
yeah.
a big supporter. Friends on Facebook, he's always posting shit on there about my content. I appreciate you, Kevin. You're a real one, man.
Awesome,
Love you,
Kevin.
buddy.
Love having you here, man.
I win my fair share, T-Rock. I keep the thing going, unlike Adam, who perpetually rebuilds forever.
Yep. You know, I got a lot of shit for all the rebuilds, but you know what? I'm going to just keep reminding you guys in these little screenshots in Discord when you just have the residual income team that was rebuilt, and it's just good luck.
Tim Patrick, Van Jefferson, Kendrick Bourne are the ones that stood out to me. I'm not a KJ Osborne dude. Probably just because I think Amir Smith's more sets better, but that's Iowa hat. So we'll move on from that one.
The problem with me with Patrick is like I understand the idea, especially with Russell Wilson, but like if Cortland Sutton's the thing and Jerry Jeudy's not suspended, like I just don't know that the path for targets is there.
Hey man, Kevin, come on over to the Patreon, sign up $1. We'll get you in, and
Kevin,
the next Patreon league we get, you'll be in, buddy.
Yes, we need to get that on the books, man, because the summer is going to fly by before you know it. We're going to be into. I'm telling you, before you know, it's going to be Expo and football season, and we're going to be like, damn, startup season's over.
Let's get the Destination Devy auction over with. As soon as that wraps up, let's put one on the books. A traditional 12-team Superflex tight end preview, Dynasty Snake.
Oh, Snake! Whoa,
new Snake. We haven't done a Snake in a little bit, right? The last two have been auctions.
I swear, last time we were on here, you said you don't. It's the best way to do it's auction.
Not everybody likes to do auction, and we see some people.
I know.
Completely, T-Rock completely ruin their teams in auction.
T-Rock, when you doing your next auction with us, man?
Oh man, love you guys. Appreciate it. We try to keep it fresh for you guys, right? As much content as you want.
No, what's crazy is I feel like we don't pump out enough content. Is that nuts to say, Mike? I want to pump out a little more.
Ooh, what about it? KJ Hamler. That was an interesting.
Maddie.
Is
that your burner? Maddie fucking Kiwoom. God damn it.
Yes, T-Rock, we will do more leagues, but there'll be special rules in there where you have a total draft timer, so you can't just sit on it until the end of your timer trying to get somebody to.
Hey, listen, I talked to T-Rock like the day or two before about, just go in, have fun. Don't worry about what people tell you. My man spent all his money in the first 20 minutes. And I was like, bro, that was not what I meant by just let loose. We'll get you back in and we'll fix you, man.
Tyler, I tell you what, man, if you got a decent mic or whatever, hit me up in my fucking DMs here this week. We'll get you set up here. We got a bunch of show ideas. Shoot, we just implemented the new Savage thing where you can actually shape and mold the show. So guys like T-Rock are in heaven because he's just got ideas out the ass.
Before we get out of here, let's get to all the questions, and then there's two things I wanted to say before we get out of here. I appreciate that, man. Damn.
It's good shit.
I feel like people were coming at our throats, and now everyone's coming with love. So thank you.
Only people coming at my throats are on Twitter.
Somebody in here said something. It wasn't savage, but
that's all right.
It was nice.
Just a slight disagreement.
So two things. One, if you go to the Savage tier, that's the high tier in our Discord, $15 a month. It gets you all kinds of basically premium features, right? You get team reviews, you get voice chat with a small group of people and just us. It's also exclusive, meaning we cap it at a certain number. As much as you love our content and stuff, we have to try to keep a threshold on how much time and attention we can give to people that are into the elite tier. So anyway, we do want to add more things and keep doing that constantly. And I've been thinking about what we can do. And Mike and I talked, and we're like, what would be awesome? We do these AMAs. They come on and they ask questions. How can we make the premium tier better where they feel more connected? And the best way I could think of it was, let's give them an opportunity to just bring topics of discussion, like things that they want to have talked about, right? You got all this AMA stuff. You think about this, right? You're going through your dynasty stuff, and something comes across your mind and you haven't thought of it before, or maybe you haven't thought of it in a while. I want 4D to talk about this, and we'll go through, and if they're really good topics, we'll go through there and we'll feature that as part of our podcast or our videos here.
For sure. Man, I always like it too when somebody proposes something like that, because then it makes me think is this all right? Let me look into it. Let me do a little research. Let me pull some numbers and see if it actually makes sense or not.
Right.
And sometimes it's like, holy shit. Leads me down the road of Bob Lung's consistency guide, and now I'm thinking of like 7 million things to do off of that one. So
right, and then the other thing I did want to say before we get out of here is the expo. We had Bob Lung on. If you have not checked out that 40 podcast, Tyler L. Okay, I know Tyler L. in the Discord. Yep. If you have not checked out that 40 podcast with Bob Lung, go do it. And then after you're all hyped up, go look if you're in the toilet beers tier or higher. So you got to be a $5 or $15 tier member. If you are one of those two things and you want to come to the expo, we have the shit show Haven. We have the house and the barn where all the shit's going to go down. We're going to be there from Thursday to Monday. If you're interested in coming, let me know. We can get you staying with Mike and I and meeting all the people, Ray, Destination Debbie, who we're going with and going to be with, to bigger time players, people in the game, Brad Evans, all these guys at the expo. So if you're interested in that and want to kick it with us in the time being, let me know, man, because there's only, I mean, it's a big place, but we can only have so many stays. So if you're interested in that, let's do it. Yeah, T-Rock, I'm not even sure if you get to go into the barn. Like, I might let you hang out there, but you might not be able to stay in there. So
sure, you think we talk and put out a lot of content now? Just wait till we're all together. Sitting in the room.
Listen, I'm telling you, we're gonna fucking record some stuff probably, just have a little.
Yeah, we're gonna need some bags, right? We're gonna play some cornhole.
Oh my god, yeah. I got boards, Ohio State boards, I'm gonna take them. We I don't know if you saw in the pictures, there's pool, foosball up there. Like it's gonna be a blast, man.
I'm gonna try to fly in on Wednesday, right? So I can help you set everything up on Thursday. Friday, we get to do whatever the fuck we want until Friday evening, which is the kickoff of the expo.
Yep.
So we'll go do that. Saturday is the draft day. I don't think I'm going to go to many of the drafts because they're redrafts. I'm not like, I might check them out, but I'm not participating in it. I'm like, I just don't have a redraft itch too much in me. And then Saturday night's the party. Sunday's the expo. Sunday people will probably be leaving and stuff later, but Monday, most of the people will be out. We got to be out of there, and then I'm probably going to fly back out on Tuesday. So
So listen, we'll have it that time. If you want to come, you're interested in coming, whether near or far, let me know. If you want to come and want to be there, we would love to have you with us. Once again, you got to be in the $5 or the $15 a month tier to stay with the big dogs, but you can if you want to. Let me know.
He doesn't need to childproof it. That's why we got the Airbnb.
That's exactly why we got that. And based on how you did during the auction and how drunk you got, I gotta maybe pull the Aubrey thing, like watching all day. I gotta have to watch T-Rock. So
we'll ration him.
Yeah.
Put him on ration.
It'll be like when my wife's out back in the day. Like you go to the bar. Listen, she's really drunk, but she thinks she wants another drink. Can you make this like it's alcohol, but it's not actually alcohol?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Kevin, we appreciate you, man. We will catch you guys later. That's going to do it for us. We're going to bounce out of here. Hour and a half. I plan on an hour, but, it's traditional shit show fashion. Never goes as planned.
and it never goes as planned, and it never goes under. So take the over every time. Never.
But we appreciate you guys tapping in. If you do us a huge favor, like, subscribe, comment, ask away. I try to answer every comment that comes through, if it's a question or whatever, but it's all, this is my engagement farming. This is how I engage. I'm not going to put stupid headlines up there. Hey, Dak might be a top 10 quarterback. No fucking shit. Thank you for that. Appreciate you guys. We're out of here. Peace.
Later.